Runnemede Board of Education meeting is called to order. The Board of Education is in compliance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975 entitled the Open Public Meetings Act. The time, date, and location of this meeting was appropriately advertised by notifying the retrospect, as well as posting notices in the Borough Hall, Runnemede Post Office, Mary Volt School, Align Bingham School, Grace Downing School, and the Runnemede Public School District website. Please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Flags back here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I wish they would come every, it gives us something to smile about. Roll call, board members.
Ms. Adair?
Here.
Ms. Beebe?
Here.
Ms. Davidson?
Here.
Ms. Farrell?
Here.
Mr. Lego? Here. Ms. O'Brien was unable to attend. Ms. Panzarella?
Here.
Ms. Sams?
Here.
Ms. Spalding?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Also present, Mark Iannucci, Superintendent, Dr. Sean McCarron, Business Administrator, Director of Curriculum Instruction, Ms. Jade Yezzi, Principal, Bingham and Downing School, Mr. Steve Keeley, Principal, Volt School, Mr. Steve Maloney, Vice Principal, Volt School, and Mr. Frank Hines, Supervisor of Building and Grounds. At this time, I need a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes from September 18.
I'll make a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes from September 18th.
Thank you, Maria. Second by Patty. Any questions? Roll call.
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Beebe?
Abstain.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Ms. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Lego?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Sams?
Yes.
Ms. Spalding?
Yes.
Motion passes.
At this time, we are going.
Is Ms. Hezzy or Ms. Davis?
Yeah, hi, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for all the families and kids for coming tonight. Board, we have a special presentation for you. As you know, we have a safety patrol at each one of our 2 elementary schools. It gives our 3rd graders a chance to be leaders, so we have a video that we're going to show you in a minute that talks a little bit about what leadership means to them through the eyes of 8 and 9-year-olds, which is really awesome. And we have a couple kids from each school to read their essays and just to showcase one of the many great things that are happening in our elementary school. So I would like to introduce our facilitators because it is a student club. We have Ms. Ayusa at Bingham and Ms. Salerso at Downing, so I'm going to let them take the lead. Just really proud of them. The facilitators do a great job. They have lots of responsibilities throughout the day, helping kindergarten students, helping in the hallways, they're greeting at doors. I mean, these kids take their job very seriously, and it's like one of the many highlights that I've seen over the years, and it's just kind of every year, it comes out strong, and it lasts all year, and I'm just really proud of it. But it takes teachers like these two to kind of help make it all work, so I appreciate them more than they know. So thank you for coming tonight, and we would like to play the video first, I think, if that's okay, and then the kids are going to read. Thank you.
Safety Club here at Bingham School. Leadership in school means being a good role model for others. It's about helping friends, working well with others, and making positive choices. A leader listens, encourages, and finds ways to make school a better place for everyone. Kids can show leadership by being kind, responsible, and taking initiative in class or during activities throughout the day. Let's listen to our school safety's take on leadership.
Declan, what do you think a leader does?
A leader follows rules and says kind words. I think a leader shows good example.
As
A leader will listen to all rules and will be kind to all.
can you name a leader you admire and why do you look up to them?
My brother because he's nice.
Can you name a leader you admire and why do you look up to them?
Miss Ayusa because she taught me through tough times and she's really sweet.
Give a time when you help someone else.
I helped my sister to help bridge a wrong person.
And how did that feel?
I'm good.
What does it mean to be responsible?
It means to do nice things for other people in the hallway.
What does it mean to be responsible?
It means to have good manners and to show leadership.
How can a leader stay positive when things get tough?
You can take a deep breath and think of something happy.
How can a leader stay positive when things get tough?
By using coping skills.
Why is it important for a leader to be honest?
because then they can lose their belt.
Why is it important for a leader to be honest?
So they can show like a good example for the others.
Wait, why is it important for a leader to be honest?
Because it can help people out and it's hurtful to tell a lie.
How can leaders help others believe in themselves?
Because if they're sad, we can cheer them up and they can feel happy for themselves and believe in themselves.
How can leaders help others believe in themselves?
You can help them with work and show that it's really not that hard.
How can leaders help solve problems?
A way that leaders can help solve problems is to help other people stay happy.
What's something you've learned about leadership from a teacher or a coach?
Never give up.
Why is it important for a leader to be honest?
So people can trust in them.
Why is it important for a leader to be honest?
Because if you don't be honest, they would get the answers wrong to a question.
How do you think leaders make decisions?
They think about their thoughts and they're seeking if that's the right thought to make. And if it's the right thought to make, then they choose to do that one.
What's something you've learned about leadership from a teacher or a coach?
I learned that you can't lie to others because then they wouldn't do the right thing.
How can a leader make sure everyone feels included?
If I saw somebody outside by themselves, I would go ask them to play.
What qualities do you think are important for a leader to have?
Kindness, because if you're with a leader that isn't kind, then you shouldn't be with that leader.
How can leaders help others believe in themselves?
By helping them get a growth mindset.
So my name's Christina. I run the safety club at Bingham. And many moons ago, I also was a safety at Bingham, so this is very fun event. Except when we were at Bingham, it went up to 5th grade, and then it came. But the seniors of the building are now in 3rd grade, so their responsibilities look a little bit different than they did. They're not crossing students across the street, but they are working within the walls and doors of the building to do various jobs, such as being assigned to different classroom upgrade levels, being hall monitors, being door greeters, which they take very seriously. And it also is just wonderful to see with the growth of our social emotional learning program that we've started, to see them using the language, as you saw in the video, of having a growth mindset, using coping skills. And I truly believe that since they're able to manage their own feelings, it helps them with the younger kids. As they walk in the door, if they see them having a bad day, they're going to stop, they check in on them, they help them when they're looking frustrated, opening breakfasts, right? Adrian makes sure that the kids that get down to aftercare, after school, because those kindergarten kids feel a little bit nervous that they're going to get lost, but Adrian takes very good care of them. And tonight they would like to share the reasons why they enjoy being a safety and what made them want to be a safety. Adrian?
I think I'll make a good safety because I'm kind, smart, and helpful. My post is in the kindergarten classroom. I help the kindergartners pack up and bring them down to aftercare. I like being a safety because Mrs. Holmes used to be my kindergarten teacher, and now every single day I get to see her. I also like being a safety because I love to help people. I think I would make a great safety by helping Mrs. Clark. I also think I would be a great safety by helping other students and teachers. I am going to be a leader this year. When I am doing my job, I plan to do the best that I can do. That's why I think I would be a great safety. From your future safety day. I think I would make a good safety by helping take down the because I listen to all the rules. I would also be a good safety because I'm a bucket player. I would be a good safety because I'm smart. That's all the reasons I think I would be a good safety. Bye, my intro.
I'm a good safety because I'm kind, respectful, and honest. I also know my way around school in case of an emergency. My post is in the library with Miss Ayusa. In the library, I help little kids find their books and help put the returned books away. I like being a safety because I get to help people. I'm a bucket filler.
I think I could be a good safety because I am respectful, worthy, helpful, and responsible. My safety post is in first grade. I help them with their breakfast and I take them down to the library. Safety help little kids in the halls and on the playground. And I think I am good at that. I think I like being a safety because I get to watch out for people and help them follow the rules.
For those of you that don't know me, I am Ms. Lorso. I am the safety facilitator at Downing. This is my first year doing it, and so far it's been great. I love the opportunity to work with these kids. Bear and Brian, I have the opportunity also to be their teacher as well, so I can see them being a leader not only at their posts, but inside the classroom as well, and it's been a great honor. And
Proud of them.
yeah, we're really proud of them. They did a great job tonight. Another round of applause for them, which is great.
Thank you. Ms. Lisa, I was in 5th grade safety at Downing as well.
It's a great honor.
How many movies? We used to cross kids. I crossed. We're not talking about how many movies ago that was.
Brian, great job, friend. Thanks for coming.
We didn't get paid. All that.
Bye. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. Great work. Keep being leaders.
Things people really write home about.
My daughter, we were like, me and my sister were special art.
Yeah, it's it. Oh my God.
And me and my sisters were like, it's how we are better artists than her. Do you want to see our stuff? My mom's like, calm down. Yeah. We were big special artists. Yep, I was inspired. That was weird.
Bye. Thank you.
All right, are we ready for you, Dr. McCarron?
No.
All right. The NJSLA test score presentation.
This is my 12th presentation of the NJSLA test scores here in Runnemede School District. I realized that when I came. You ready? So before we go into this, just something everyone's aware of. So one of the things I remember going through graduate school was they talked about when we evaluate staff members, how little of a staff member's day is actually measured in observations that they're being observed. So all the lessons they teach, we're measuring them on 2 to 3 times a year. We can always be more. But the same thing is true with test scores. When we look at our test scores, a test score is a 3-hour measurement test that is given over the course of 1,080 hours that is students receiving instruction over the course of an entire academic school year. 180 school days, 6 hours of instruction usually when you then add in lunch and other things, you get to your regular school day. So we are literally measuring 3 hours of a test in that. So I always feel like it's important to put things in perspective as we look at this. Data points, state assessment that we use in NJSLA. We also have the access test, which is for our ESL, English as a second language, our English learners. and also our DLM test, which is for our special education students who aren't able to really access computer technology in a way that they can take the NJSLA. The access scores and the DLM scores are not presented publicly due to the fact that we have less than 10 students per grade level in each of those categories. So in order to present the test data publicly, we have to have 10 or more in a given area for that presentation to take place. In addition, we have our district data benchmarks, which is the STAR assessment. I will be showing some of that data, and the STAR assessment is given to all students in grades 2 through 8, 3 times annually. For our students who receive MTSS or interventions, they receive it 5 times a year. So it's about every 8 weeks that they're taking that assessment so we can measure where they are and what interventions we can do throughout. In addition, we have classroom assessments such as classwork, proficiency scales, rubrics, assessments, teacher observations, our RTI progress monitoring, and then other considerations is always attendance. INRS, that's our intervention and referral service team, 504s, IEPs and other needs, and also parent feedback as far as what students need. Things to consider: trends by subject and grade, professional development goals, and grade level and subject goals, evidence statements. One of the things that we look at with the NJSLA that we get back in August is evidence statements. And that gives us every standard within a grade level and how the students performed in that standard. Sometimes they will give us released samples and sometimes they will not. Sometimes our students are given, because there's different types of tests that are given with the NJSLA, there's 3 versions. So sometimes there might be a standard that none of our students are measured on at all. Other times, all of our students are, and sometimes only a partial group might be tested depending on which test they are given, as it's an electronic test. Student supports that we have is MTSS, that's both academic and behavioral. We have the INRS process. We utilize differentiated instruction targeted to specific standards. We have our after-school programming and summer programming, and then also we have our child study team with various supports that they provide throughout the course of the school year. So looking at English language arts, this is broken down. When students receive their test, they're, for example, just going across the bottom here for language arts 8th grade, we had 84 students who tested. So of those 84 students, there's a total of 5 areas that they can fall in. 1 being did not meet proficiency, 1 partially met, 1 approaching, 1 met, 1 exceeded. And then the final column I have is the total proficiency, because the total proficiency is a 4 and a 5, which is met expectations and exceeded expectations. So you can see here going across the bottom where each student fell. That being said, one thing we talk about each year is we talk about student growth. One of the things that's measured on the assessment though is specific standards. So 7th grade standards are different than 8th grade standards, and it goes all the way down. So you can see here just going across the board. 3rd grade, we had a 27% proficiency. That is the first time students are taking the NJSLA. 4th grade, 43% proficiency. 5th grade, 40%. 6th grade, 43%. 7th grade, 63%. And 8th grade, 67% in those areas. One thing I always like to point out though is that approaching category in the middle, which would be a 3 out of 5 that the students received, that is not considered proficient. But when you look at that number for ELA, we have anywhere between 16 to 30% of our student population is right on that border. So sometimes getting a student from non-proficiency to proficiency can be the difference of literally 1 to 2 questions. Mathematics, once again it goes across. I'm going to talk about the bottom numbers in a second. But you can see 3rd grade, we were 39% proficient. 4th grade, we were 35% proficient. 5th grade, 27% proficient. 6th grade, 18% proficient. 7th grade, 23%. 8th grade is broken into 3 categories. 8th grade by themselves, 7% proficient. Then we have 25 students who are in our algebra class and they take the algebra assessment. In that group, 88% of our 8th grade students were proficient. If you take our entire 8th grade population and you pull all of that proficiency, as far as proficiency for both tests, based on all of their numbers, that is 31% proficiency as an 8th grade class. Science. Science is tested 3 times in a student's academic. It is 5th grade, 8th grade, and then 11th grade. 11th grade? Correct. 11th grade. So proficiency for 5th grade students was 20% proficiency. And in 8th grade, it was 9% proficiency.
Is that gonna go away soon? I thought that was just a pilot.
That's a common question that keeps getting asked. The state, there are 2 people in the state who are responsible for all of the science testing across the state of New Jersey. So this is where the assessment is at this point. It's kind of like Start Strong. When we had that, I don't know if anyone remembers when we had the Start Strong assessment in the fall, and then all of a sudden that went away. So sometimes that's a conversation that comes up each year as far as whether or not we will have to continue with the
I
assessment.
really thought when they presented it wasn't supposed to be long. They just wanted to see.
They wanted to see where things were.
Yeah.
And then, of course, everyone received the scores as far as where the state baseline was, and there were a lot of questions regarding the standards and
Yes.
what they were measuring and how that was being measured. So that's a constant conversation on the curriculum side. ELA proficiency, one of the things I always like to do. Now, remember, each year we measure different things, but I also like to kind of see like where we are at different levels across the year. So you'll see instead across the top here, I have our proficiency from 2019. Remember, we didn't take the test in 2020 or 2021. Then proficiency for 22, 23, and 24. So you can see just going across the board for ELA in 2019, starting with 3rd grade was 37%, it went down to 34, then 34, then 27. One of the big differences and things to consider as we look at this is our student population. So many times that can change based on the number of special education students, 504 students, students receiving accommodations, and many different factors that go into that as well.
These were your COVID kids too, mind you.
Yes.
Yes.
My child is in that group.
4th grade, 49%, we dropped down to 21% in 2022 in 4th grade, and then we went up to 49% and 43%. 5th grade, 42%. In 2022, we dropped down to 22%, and then 23, 43%, 24, 40%. 6th grade, 46%, dropped down to 30%, and then 23 and 24, we were at 43%.
And that group would have been like the 3rd graders.
That group would have been the 3rd graders, so they would have skipped 2 years, correct?
Yes.
7th grade, we were at 70%, we dropped down to 55, in 23, we were at 69, in 24, we were at 63. In 8th grade, we were at 55% in 2019, dropped down to 44, then we moved up to 54, and we're at 67 this year. In math, 3rd grade was 41% in 2019. 22 with 3rd grade was kind of off because that was the one grade level that actually like jumped out of everything with 46%. 23 was 36%, 24 was 39%. 4th grade, 32%, we dropped down to 19%. 23 we're at 32%, 24 we're at 35%. 5th grade went from 27 to 17, then it went back up to 26 and 27 in 23 and 24. 6th grade was at 12% in 2019, it went down to 5% in 2022. And then in 23 and 24 it was at 22 and 18%. Also within that, and as Maria said, that was the 3rd grade class that was. 7th grade, 29% in 2019, dropped down to 22. In 23, it went to 21%, and in 24, it went to 23. In 8th grade, in 2019, we were at 30% proficiency for math. It dropped down to 9% in 22, 14% in 23, and 31% in 24. So you can see how it is trending up in many of those grade levels that way. This is just to show you, this is other data that we also look at. It looks similar to the NJSLA data. However, this is our STAR benchmark assessment. So what we also do is we do same grade levels across the board just to see where proficiency is. So you can see 4th grade, it shows 4th grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade scores. And many times when you look at the red and the yellow, when we have our data meetings, that's one of the key indicators that we'll look at. We'll also look at grade reports, but from there we'll also pull out students who are already receiving additional interventions, but because they're in inclusion classrooms, because they're in our resource room classrooms, so they're already receiving additional supports, and then our intervention specialists work with students in those areas. Here you have 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, just 3 years worth of data, and then also with the STAR assessment, we're able to pull other things such as standards, so that way when teachers are working with students on specific areas, they're able to target those specific standards to work with those students on. ELA, you'll see similar things, and you'll see that trending based on different grade levels as far as the proficiency and where that goes. And then we have our 6th, 7th, and 8th grade as well for that. Any questions or comments?
intervention, the correspondence, or Dr. McCarron put your folders in front.
I never put those in correspondence. I feel like 3 things.
I know, I'm excited.
Yeah, there you go.
Can you tell me about Wawa Community Cares and Raising Cane's?
Yes, so Wawa Community Cares, on October 25th, Wawa, our local Wawa, is providing us with 192 pretzels that we will be giving out to staff members. So any way that they're able to help them participate in certain activities throughout the district, they were willing to do that. It was a survey that we had to fill out online, and we kind of went back and forth as far as what they were able to provide, but kind of like a little staff incentive that staff will be getting on October 25th. Raising Cane, yeah, what's that? Runnemede Wawa. So it's the corporate Wawa, and then you choose what local store, and then they try to set you up with whatever it is you might need. But packaged pretzels was one of the offerings, so we were willing to do that. Raising Cane's. For the start of the year, Raising Cane's was just opened up in Deptford. They were willing to provide us. They couldn't help us. We had reached out to them to see if they could help us with our opening day event because we were hosting a lunch for the staff members. While they weren't able to host a lunch, we actually got lunch from Raising Cane's for that event anyway. They said that they did want to help out in other ways, so they donated 4 large gift baskets, and then they also donated over 100 gift cards for free meals that we were able to give out. Those gift cards were given out to staff members who attended our kickoff event, which was the day before school. And then we also ran last Thursday a rock, paper, scissors competition, which got very intense with staff members. So staff members, if they uploaded pictures or videos of doing the rock, paper, scissors activities, they could possibly win a free lunch gift card. So people were very excited to participate and enjoy, so we were very thankful for them. If anyone knows of anyone else who'd be willing to donate for different things to the district to give out as incentives, sometimes it's hard because in public education we can't really just give out bonuses or incentives like you might be able to in other businesses. So, Raising Cane's gift cards, pretzels, whatever we can do is we're trying. So, and those were our 3 correspondences. Also, you have your information in front of you. If you have any questions, please let me know. I've also, for New Jersey School Boards Association, please make sure you keep all receipts when you do go down. Also, I've printed out all of your transcripts so that way you know, and I also gave everyone the 4 levels of board leadership. Some of your transcripts are crazy, by the way. I think they were like 5 or 6 pages long with activities and things that you've been going to throughout the years. But it shows you what you need to get your certified board member, your board leader awards, and all of those things.
And make sure you check it because it's wrong, as per usual. It says I haven't done anything since 2023.
You estimate everything.
Not even convention or anything.
Listen, I have like 2 10-year certificates.
I just bothered Dr. McCarron.
You're not always good at keeping updated
Yes.
with those activities.
You will get your 10-year pin and your 15th year.
That's exactly what I got it. But then in my 16th year, I got another 10-year.
Right.
Just saying.
I told Dr. McCarron when I retire, that's going to be my gig.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
Might
going
be
to
a
go
good
one up
gig.
there.
I'll write you a lot of recommendations.
Thank you, I appreciate that. All right, any public comment on agenda items at this time? No? Okay. Mr. Rennie?
I will try to be quick, leaving you on. Thank you for coming. This enrollment is still studying on including students. Last week we had a PD day, or actually, PD day is usually a lot of things that that's about the school years of training, things like that. So I kind of listed some of the stuff, behavioral supports, OT, PTs, presentations, technology integration is big. A lot of this shit now is AI stuff. We're trying to get more teachers involved with that. There's some concerns with AI and how it can be used. It has to be used just like Mr. Blair told us that when the calculator came out years ago, and we shipped it from the abacus. Teachers are worried about that. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing. You have to train your staff and work with them. It's not going anywhere. Just you have to use it in the right way. So we'll do that as well. Intervention specialists also met to review some instructional plans for the year. And our science teachers actually visited Black and Blue Play, which was good for them to kind of see what's going on there. I don't know if you saw them or not over your school, but it was good. Last week was Week of Respect. There's always a lot of things going on in October, so I want to thank the counselors for coordinating those activities. Fire Prevention Week, always a big thing. You saw some of those pictures. They still got those hats, the plastic hats.
Of course we do.
I don't fit my head anymore. I'm very discouraged. But thank you to Runnemede Fire Department for coming out. Red Ribbon Week activity. Now I'm going to start. Red Ribbon Week is next end of the month. School nurses plan those activities. You should be seeing some stuff coming out for that. Halloween is on Thursday this year.
Yes.
I believe. The 31st. So principals are sending information about that. Upgrades and costumes. Parent-teacher conference is coming up the second full week, I believe, in November. Information on that as well. We have two evening conferences. We have a day conference. And as always, check the website or Facebook for any information. And Dr. McCarron, nice job saying that's rock, paper, scissors activity. Got a lot of good feedback on that. Today was the county office providing their DPRs for QSAC. Enthralling 2 hours of training.
There was some stuff added to the agenda because of that.
You'll see some stuff.
Under finance, yeah.
So we have to get things lined up so we don't miss any points for QSAC. So I've got good stuff included tonight on the board. Again, QSAC governance, fiscal operations, personnel, and instruction program. We're up for review, I believe, January?
Mid-January, they should be
sending something out, so I'll be surprised if I ask a board member or two if you would be available maybe for an interview or some questions being asked. Maybe Dr. McCarron can find one of those raising cane and then New Jersey Smart Shop was submitted yesterday. Okay. That's all our data information for students. Any corrections, errors in the business office as well as technology. Supervisors working hard and personnel to get all the information uploaded correctly. And our next meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, November 20th, 6:30. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Iannucci? All right, Dr. McCarron.
I've attended all the curriculum and business administrator roundtable meetings. I've also held 2 pre-K parent meetings, both online, lunch and learn activities to promote that. And then we also had a parent survey for preschool go out yesterday to kind of assess what our family needs were within the preschool program, what types of things would they like to see. And then that way that helps us then drive what future activities we'll be doing in the preschool program. New Jersey School Boards Convention, making sure all of that is set up and that we are good to go for next week. State testing data was presented this evening, but then also pulling all of the data that they provide us after the fact. And sometimes it's hard because we're going back to last year's data and we don't get that until the start of the school year. But it's making sure that we're providing relevant information that teachers can then do actionable things in their classrooms, either with the students who took the assessment or in terms of teaching practices and certain units that we need to review or look over differently. And then the only other thing that we had worked on was really SGOs, which for this year changed with the state that tenured teachers no longer need to submit SGOs. It is only the non-tenured teachers. And the whole point of SGOs was to ensure the fact that people were looking at pre and post data, which as a district, we do across the board to begin with, but that was the state's way of ensuring the fact that everyone was doing that. So they've kind of backed off of that a little bit. I'm not sure where they're going with that for the future. However, as of right now, only non-tenured teachers are to submit SGOs. That's all I have.
Any questions for Dr. McCarron? Okay, principals, nurses, building and grounds, and special education reports. Any questions there?
Ms. Fall, I'm so sorry. Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
Publicly, I'd like to say that in the month of October, we start our school budget for the 25-26 school year. So one of the things that I included in this year's, for this month, is our budget calendar, which is pretty much the same exact itinerary that we follow every single year. Last year we got thrown off a little bit, but we got right back on track as soon as that got figured out. We're hoping we don't have any of those, mishaps this year in terms of numbers. I'm told that we should be good. That being said, in October we start reviewing data for the upcoming budget year, working on those numbers for the ASSA and pulling that October 15 snapshot. That drives our budget numbers in the upcoming year. So that's why it's so important that we ensure the fact that data is only as good as the way in which it's put in. So the information we have in our student information system and the information we then report, we have to make sure that that's accurate and correct. Our annual audit is being finalized. We're doing our transportation report, which we submit to the state, and we're always in good standing with that based on the runs that we have. But then also in December, we will have our audit presentation most likely. We'll start working with staff members on their needs. I think we might remove the word wish. Their needs list in terms of the upcoming school year. And then in January, we will be working with the principals and also Gladys and Frank and Jeanette in regards to all of their departments and what they need. Frank is already looking up here. Frank. And then, of course, in February, we do our preliminary budget, and then in April, it's our public hearing that we always have. So once we actually set the new schedule, I will have the official time frame, that the 10 days, because usually our April meeting is set for whenever the public hearing of the budget is for there. But if you have any questions along the way, please let me know, and of course, I'll keep you updated with any happenings. Sorry.
Thanks, Dr. McCarron. PTA report, I don't see anyone here, but I do know that their trunk or treat is back. Coming up, I guess it's this weekend, right? Saturday at Triton, if you have any little ones. And they also have bag bingo, so check out their Facebook page as well. And I know Miss Yezzi, if you know any local veterans, you guys probably also saw my Facebook page. Miss Ayusa and Miss Carrasco are looking for veterans to come in to on Veterans Day for our little guys and girls in I think Bingham and Downing. I did send it to Runnemede, Glendora, and Belmar VFW, as well as the American Legion post for the teachers, and posted it on a couple like neighbors of Runnemede or whatever, and my own personal page. But if you know anyone else, the little kids really do a great job, and so.
Just so you know, we're planning one too, on a different day, of course, but anybody for the older kids too, just let them know that something will be going on.
Yeah, if you want to send that to me, I have I know all three
I just
commanders.
wanted to, since you were bringing it up.
Yeah, no, that's no problem. Just let me know, and the more, the better. On a different date, they get excited to come. I told my dad, I don't care if he's 75, he has to go down them steps and down. He'll be all right.
Well, help it now.
He'll be all right. He'll be all right.
Safety.
Yeah, he's fine. The safety's got him. The safety's got his back. That's right. Any committee reports at this time? I had a question for you.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
When is our negotiations for contracts due?
Probably next year.
Next year, okay, I just wanted to make sure.
So that process
I had
would
some
start in
questions
October.
whether or not I was still eligible, because my daughter is now an educator.
We can always ask Adam, just to confirm and make sure.
Okay,
So
Adam.
we'll ask them Tuesday night.
Yeah, we'll ask him at the 7th.
I just added it to my posted notice questions I asked the lawyer at the free event.
Free event. Anyone else has anything?
It's free.
Anything else there? My question for you is, do you know if NJSBA has an app this year? They usually always do. Did you guys download it?
I was just showing Heather.
We're-
Okay, all right. I am a slacker, but I delete it after every year too. All right,
And
great.
the app is available through your app store. It's called Workshop 2024
All right.
Purple.
It's always the same.
And if you go into your email, they did send us something in there, you can go right
Pop
to
it
it.
up.
from there.
Okay, all right.
It has all the scheduling.
Yeah, I like to favorite some things that I like to do because then it makes an itinerary for
Yes,
myself.
major
Yeah.
itinerary for you. yes.
Okay, all
Yes.
right, great,
Yes.
thanks. I'll do that tonight.
Sending it to you.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Any other thing, go to the order of you?
Just that email that I sent everybody, that thing that I went to, it was really cool. I mean, I don't have to,
Yeah, did you?
I can tell you the next one too, 'cause there's so many. I can't even explain it, but it works, but it was really cool. The Camden County Ed Services that we went, it
Yeah.
took like, I mean, there's probably like 20 of us who went. It was an hour and a half to get there, but it was so cool. It was just so cool.
Thank you for representing us. Thank you. Yeah, all right, new business then, we're ready? All right, property and transportation, I need a motion for items 1 to 3.
I'll make a motion for property and transportation fund 3.
Motion made by Patty,
I'll second.
second by Barbie. Any questions? That was just number 2 was added there for QSAC. Roll call.
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Beebe?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Ms. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Lego?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Samms?
Yes.
Ms. Spalding?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Under personnel, items 1 through 6.
I'll make that motion for items 1 through 6.
Second?
Motion made by Angel, seconded by Naomi. Any questions? Roll call.
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Beebe?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Ms. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Lego?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Samms?
Yes.
Ms. Spalding?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Finance was the one that after the CUSAC meeting today was a little bit different. If you want to take a second, I need a motion for items 1 to 19.
I'll make that motion. Items 1 to 19.
Motion made by Dennis.
Finance.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Second by Barbie. Take a second if you need. Any questions? Everyone good? Roll call.
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Beebe?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Ms. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Lego?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Samms?
Yes.
Ms. Spalding?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Under curriculum, items 1 and 2,
I'll make
please.
a motion to approve items 1 and 2 under curriculum.
Second.
Maria, thank you, Maria. Second by Naomi. Roll call.
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Beebe?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Ms. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Lego?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Samms?
Yes.
Ms. Spalding?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Under policy and public relations, items 1 through 4.
I'll make a motion to approve items 1 through 4 under policies and public relations.
I'll second.
Motion made by Maria, seconded by Patty. Roll call.
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Beebe?
Yes.
Ms. Farrell?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Mr. Lego?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Samms?
Yes.
Ms. Spalding?
Yes.
And we do have some Gertrude Talk fundraiser packets that Ms. Yazdi's trying to show for bringing
Push
down
in
the
the
school.
chocolate.
So we'll just get some, if you like the chocolate, and then there's some good stuff in there, so please take a packet. If not, you're going to hand it home
Thanks.
for leave. So thank you, Ms. Yazdi.
At this time, we're open for public comment. Does anybody have any public comments at this time? Mrs. Marker, did you have something? Oh, okay. Hi, Mrs. Kelly, yeah.
Okay. Well, first of all, congratulations on the status of the proficiency of our children. If I were a new person moving into town, and I saw that, and I'm sure it's public record, and if I compared it to other towns, what do you think I would see? Would it be in the range that other towns have? I'm talking about small towns like Runnemede. I'm not talking Morristown, I'm not talking Haddon.
You would typically compare to your district
But
factor group.
is it typical?
You would compare to your district factor group, which I don't think we broke that down.
It's called district factor group.
Yeah.
That means we're all bunched like in the same, like the
Yeah.
same type of town.
So if I look at that, would that be very similar to what other towns are achieving in their proficiency?
It honestly depends what you're, looking at. Some places might be better in one area. Hopefully, it would be the same. But again, I can't speak. In the
Well,
past-
it's
in the past-
improving,
in the
it's
past, been
improving, and
similar.
that's the good part.
In the past, it's been similar, but we haven't done that breakdown probably since COVID, and for that.
Right.
Because we're not, obviously, we want to see them do better, but we tend to look more at our things we give throughout the
So
year.
in the district, we're pretty much on the same level, would you say, as other small towns in the district?
I think in
Or
terms of...
don't you have that information?
So here's the thing, the state, when you look at the district factor group, which Mr. Iannucci just
Right.
mentioned, the last time the state actually did a district factor group breakdown was 2010. So it was 2000 and 2010. Now the state, what's unfortunate, and you and I have had this conversation before because you brought up in terms of the Realtor.com rating that Runnemede was rated, they look at test scores. That's directly what they look at. And as I said to you, it's literally a 3-hour assessment. Some students might finish the test in 15 minutes, other students might finish it in 3 hours. It could take the entire time. Depending on many factors, it could be, but in terms of if you look at Runnemede in terms of the programs and overall experience that we are providing to students, I am very confident that we are above most districts that you look at. When Ms. Yazdi and I actually just visited another school district as part of our thing, and it was great to see because we got to see another preschool program. And at the end of the day, while I thought our preschool program was too small to invite everyone into, after going to that preschool program, I was like, oh, we have a lot of things going on. We have 3 playgrounds, we have 8 classrooms, we We have all these different things and resources for our students. And I think honestly, that's what's bringing people into our community.
Oh,
That's the whole
definitely. We don't have
focus.
any vacant houses.
No, not anymore. Not anymore.
Because of our school district.
And that wasn't always the case.
I was just interested to see in comparison. And
I think it would be extremely similar. In Camden County, you have a very diverse community, from a factor group A to a factor group J. And unfortunately, we are still looking at the factor groups, even though it isn't an active thing that the state looks at. What's frustrating for me as an educator is that that's what the state then publishes based on that information, and it doesn't give a true picture of everything that we offer. It doesn't show you the number of intervention specialists that we offer to support students at various levels and needs that other districts don't offer. It doesn't show you the grants that we're getting or the programs that we're offering or the way in which we try to bring the community that other school districts don't do.
well, that's
So-
unfortunate because people don't see that, so they think we don't have it. And that's a shame.
Well, I think this is just my personal opinion, but if you're looking to buy a house, you're not gonna look so much online anymore as you are word of mouth. And I also feel that many of the local realtors, whether they're from Runnemede or not, have nothing but extremely positive things to say about this district. And again, that's not a board member, that's a personal take on what's shared. You know, when people are looking at houses, there aren't
Yeah, I
many.
agree. They sell on the quality of the schools.
There
And
just
this-
isn't many-
This is one of the reasons why we don't have any houses
There
for
aren't
sale
many
in
districts.
Runnemede.
There isn't many like small town feels anymore. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. Everyone's a number. If you go 1 mile that way, you're a number. You're not a number at Volt School. Like that's why like even my own, like my granddaughter is the 5th generation Sam Polsky to go through the school district. Like there's nowhere else she's permitted to go. You know what I mean? Like it's not an option. Like this is where like, you know, the base of, you know, I can look out there like Ms. Sandowski and Mrs. Dockery, like their kids went here, I went here, Angel went here, Barbie went here. Like that all amounts to something too when people are looking at houses.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
But
true.
again, like what you just said, so if I'm looking to buy a house and I hear you say that means so much more to me than what the website says.
Yeah, because-
what the state says.
Because
An
it's just not
educated
accurate.
person is
No,
going to
it's
realize
not
that
accurate.
that is not accurate.
It's not accurate.
Your words. Do you get calls, people who want to take a tour? Let people considering buying a home take a tour.
Yeah.
You know, let them see it for themselves. Anybody who's looking at those state things, they should not bother. Homeschool, I don't know. Do something other than
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
parents
You're welcome.
rely on those numbers.
Any other public comment? All right, so our next board meeting, like Mr. Iannucci said, is November 20th here. I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion made by Maria, second by Barb, all in favor? Ayes have it, meeting is adjourned.